Hello and welcome. I'm an AI expert with extensive experience in modern hotel operations, and it's my pleasure to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to this online learning journey. Today, we're going to ask a really fundamental question. What does luxury even mean anymore? You know, it used to be all about gold taps and crystal chandeliers, but today, the entire concept is being rewritten.
This program is designed specifically for you, hospitality students and professionals who are looking for practical knowledge that aligns with real-world hotel operations. We're going to explore the key shifts in the industry, looking at how guest expectations and global trends are forcing hotels to innovate like never, ever before.
So we'll break this down into 5 key pillars for you. We'll start with the quest for transformation. Then we'll look at the rise of conscious luxury and the delicate act of balancing tech and touch. After that, we'll cover adapting to global dynamics, and finally, we'll pull it all together to see how we're redefining the guest experience.
All right, let's dive into our first pillar, which is really the most fundamental shift of all, how we define value. It's just not about opulence anymore. Now it's all about personal growth and transformation for the guest.
This slide, well, it captures the shift perfectly. You see, on the left, you've got the old idea of luxury. It was about acquiring a physical object, staying in a grand room. But on the right, you see the new luxury. It's about acquiring a new perspective. The ultimate souvenir is no longer something you put on a shelf, it's a changed point of view.
And that gets to the brand new role of the hotel. It's not just a place to sleep anymore. A truly luxury hotel has to be a bridge connecting guests to the real, authentic soul of the place they're visiting. So how do hotels actually do this? Well, it's through these unique, money-can't-buy moments. We're talking about things like private museum tours after hours, workshops with local master artisans, or incredible culinary journeys that trace an ingredient right back to the farm. These are the experiences that create a deep emotional connection that a fancy chandelier simply can't.
Okay, let's move on to our next pillar and see how this all connects. This internal quest for personal growth is now being paired with an external focus on ethical responsibility. This is what we call the rise of conscious luxury, where wellness and sustainability, well, they're not optional add-ons anymore. They are core values.
Think about it. In our always-on, digitally saturated world, what's the one thing you can't easily buy? It's peace, right? The ability to truly disconnect and reclaim your mental clarity has become the ultimate luxury. And for high-end travelers, this is now a non-negotiable.
And we're not just talking about a spa in the basement here. Wellness is now permeating every part of the hotel experience. From circadian lighting in rooms that mimics natural sunlight to improve sleep, to in-room air purifiers, custom menus designed by nutritionists, and even guided forest bathing experiences. The hotels that get this right see guests stay longer and come back way more often.
Now, running parallel to personal wellness is planetary wellness. The modern luxury traveler fully expects their indulgence to align with their values. They are actively looking for what you could call guilt-free indulgence, where their luxury experience doesn't come at the expense of the environment or the local community.
And this brings us to a beautiful concept called quiet sustainability. Now, the key word here is quiet. It's invisible. It's not about asking guests to give up comfort. It's about ethical practices like zero-waste kitchens being woven so seamlessly into the experience that they simply add this wonderful layer of integrity and purpose, which in turn builds a much deeper trust with the guest.
Okay, pillar 3. This is where we tackle that critical, delicate balance between leveraging powerful new technology and preserving the irreplaceable value of the human touch. The goal here is simple: high tech for high-touch service.
You know, in luxury, the best technology is the technology you don't even notice. Its only job is to remove friction from the guest journey. That means a booking process that's completely seamless, AI that can proactively anticipate your needs before you even ask, and a checkout so smooth you barely know what happened. And why do we do all this? Why automate the simple stuff? Well, this quote gets right to the heart of it. By automating the mundane, we free up our human staff to focus on what they do best and what machines will never, ever be able to do: delivering genuine empathy, unexpected humor, and authentic human care.
This entire strategy is something we call digital minimalism. It's about using technology not to shout at everyone, but to whisper to the right people. It creates that powerful, invisible service layer, so the memorable moments, the ones that truly matter, can still be wonderfully, beautifully human.
All right, let's zoom out for a moment to the macro level. No hotel exists in a vacuum. Our fourth pillar is all about adapting to the major economic and demographic shifts that are constantly reshaping our industry.
Economists are calling the current recovery K-shaped. And for us in hospitality, this means the very top of the market, the ultra-wealthy, they're spending more than ever before. But the attainable luxury segment is showing a lot more price sensitivity. This means hotels have to be incredibly smart, catering to two very different customer mindsets at the exact same time. And the traveler profile itself is changing too. For a traditional guest, luxury might be the quiet history and heritage of a European castle. But for a guest from a fast-growing emerging market, it might be the futuristic spectacle of a brand new skyscraper. You just can't use a one-size-fits-all approach anymore.
These new affluent travelers, especially from places like the Middle East, Southeast Asia, and India, often have very different expectations around family, service, and technology. For you, as future leaders, understanding these cultural nuances isn't just a nice-to-have, it's absolutely essential for survival.
So, this brings us to our final pillar, which really ties everything we've talked about together. What does all of this mean for the future of the guest experience? And more importantly, what is your mandate as a future leader in this industry? So, that's the big question on the table. What does it really take to lead in this new era of luxury hospitality? Well, the answer is that luxury is no longer a checklist of amenities. The old rulebook is gone. It is now a fluid, high-stakes game of relevance. And winning that game requires a deep mastery of emotional intelligence and hyper-personalization. Ultimately, this is all part of a huge shift into what's being called the transformation economy. The goal is no longer just to provide a service. The ultimate goal is to create an experience so powerful it leaves the guest feeling permanently changed for the better. And that, right there, is your ultimate mandate. The future of luxury hospitality isn't about being a service provider. It's about becoming an essential curator of the human experience. If you can get that right, you're not just creating a great hotel stay, you're creating a legacy.